Hi, everybody. So this is Leah Russ from New York, and I'm here with Meghma from India.
Hi, everybody.
So we're furthering our discussion today of what it feels like when we are in alignment and what it feels like when we're not in alignment. Um, so for me, when I am stepping into alignment, there can be actually like a noticeable absence of anxiety, right? Maybe you don't even have a particular sense, but you have a particular sense of something not being there, right? And that could be the case if you're someone that experiences a lot of anxiety in life. So you can also look for what is absent to help you decide whether it's kind of like hot potato or cold potato, you're getting closer or you're stepping away, right, from being in alignment. Um, so yeah, I can feel maybe an absence of anxiety. I can feel a sense of peace. I can feel a sense of relief. I can feel a sense of something easing. Okay. And that's like on the more esoteric level. On the physical level, I can feel tingling, vibrating. Meghma and I mentioned joy and bliss, which are both vibratory states, right? You can really feel the vibration of those, joy and bliss. Um, and love also has a vibration, right? Have you ever noticed that? So, um, yeah, Megman, do you have a couple of other things you want to add to what it can feel like?
Um, yeah, I mean, I just had like a cup tons of points, and the moment you asked me, it just
Flew
went out
away.
of my brain. So give me a moment there. Uh, s- yeah, like what you said about the absence of anxiety, and I have a beautiful example from my own experience that is when I was coming out of my corporate work life. And at that time, my mental health overall was so damaged that I used to have anxiety symptoms all the time, like, shortness of breath, that pressure in my chest, and getting triggered every with every small things. But the decision of leaving the corporate job and just letting universe guide me and help me float through that time without any backup. So on papers, on logical terms, it's an insane idea. How can somebody who is experiencing anxiety do this with a calm face like this? Like, I could be panicking about anything but not this big decisions like that. It was like bordering on being delusional, but inside also there's a sense of everything is going to be all right. This is the right thing to do, and things will fall into the places. So that's like a big example from my own recent experience. That's not been that much time of that even like despite of having poor mental health at that time and taking such a big decisions, I felt calm, at peace. And in fact, like our current experience, the moment I took that decisions, I felt better and better every day.
Yeah, I think it's so fascinating because the example you brought up, it's so like antithetical to the example. The example is I'm a corporate software engineer. I have a degree. I have a good job. I'm making good money, albeit I'm miserable. And I am going to walk away from that into what? For what? Like, and yeah, I feel calm about this decision.
Y- Yes, exactly. Because I wasn't sure what I was walking into. It was not a solid A to B route that I can see the destination. I had no idea what's going to happen with me. It could go very well or it could go very bad, but I had this sensation that it's going to be all right, and it's better than all right. This is better than what I asked for, and this is just the beginning. So yeah.
Right. And it's amazing because you haven't yet gotten to the place where you are making the same amount of money, and yet
Yeah.
you feel better and your life feels better and stronger and clearer and more joyful and more powerful and more connected to source. And yet
Yes.
it's ironic because there's really, unless we're on to something, right? This walking in alignment, being in alignment with our soul's path, with our destiny, unless there's something to that, what we're doing makes no sense.
Yes.
And yet we know what we're doing makes sense. But you see, this is what we're talking about. We're talking about grappling with these really deep issues of trust. And I mean, if you can reach into yourself and feel really deep issues of lack of trust, don't you think the opposite exists? Can't there be radical trust that
Yeah.
can like inflame you in joy and bliss the way that radical lack of trust can leave you weeping and in a constant state of lack and stress and fear and low self-esteem? It's just amazing.
Yeah.
And I had left the landscape design business, which was my own business that I started about 3 years ago. And I thought that that was my big challenge, right? To leave that behind because it was no longer in alignment with what I was doing. And I decided to try getting into the real estate rental market. I was able to pick up something that needed to be renovated and I worked on it. And it's so funny because, just to give you examples again, Meghma and I had been looking at what was going on with me in that business, and we knew there was a lot of stress. It was kind of constant, and it seemed like it was getting worse, that there was, just every time we turned around, there was another fire that needed to be put out. And I just got to the point where I decided to leave it, but it was kind of one of these things where I was asking the universe, are you trying to tell me to leave? As each disaster happened, because literally I'd spent like a month working there. And then Meghma and I would be like, okay, this is now stable. We can move on. We can focus on the business. And we couldn't, literally within 2 or 3 days, another emergency would have arisen and I'd have to be there for another month. And so to wade through all of that at each step and be questioning, is this a sign from the universe that I'm supposed to sell this? Is this a sign from the universe I'm supposed to let go? And the universe kept giving me pretty strong, steady, consistent signals. How long do we avoid these? How long do we sit where we're uncomfortable, where we might even be miserable, but we are gaining something from the outside world, some kind of sense of stability, whether we're staying in a bad relationship or we are staying in a bad relationship with a job. Like, it doesn't really matter whether it's a personal love relationship, a friend relationship, a business relationship, whatever those relationships are that are not suitable to us, they're not feeding us. When do we let that go? And when do we keep our nose to the grindstone? And again, this is all about discerning different levels of what's okay for me, what can I tolerate, and when do I want to make another choice?
Yeah. And I was like thinking, and this is very important, is something that is in alignment to your growth and evolution at a certain phase of life does not mean it will continue to be in alignment with you for the rest of your life. And it can be workplaces, career, relationship, identities, and the place where you're living, and the examples are endless. And when we get into alignment with our current vibration or goal or the stage of our soul's path, things around us kind of start shifting to confirm, yes, you are on the right track. So, for example, after I quit my job and I was absolutely in the abyss of the possibilities, Lia showed up and we connected and things started growing for there. I had no idea that she would, connect with me and we would build this together. But since I took the decision to step into alignment, that happened. Similarly, if we are holding on or attaching to something that are no longer in alignment, which means they have served their purpose into teaching us the lessons or the things, the skills that we need to train in, or the discernment that we needed to build. So all this, when that purpose is served, it is natural for it to fall out, because with that wisdom and that knowledge, your own vibration has shifted and upgraded, so that old reality does not uh, make sense or is no longer in alignment, although at one point it was the perfect thing that you needed for your evolution. So at this point is when it happens, when you either keep attached and then universe makes things worse in that circumstances. There are conflicts, there are like Lia said, there was something or the other blowing up every second day. So all that kind of to tell you that this is not where you are supposed to stay anymore. And the moment you start accepting, okay, this is done and I'm ready for a new chapter, the rest of the old reality, it will fall out on its own. It's a relationship, it's a career, it will go on its own. You don't even have to talk to that person, they will start behaving differently. And it's wild how this happens. And sometimes you may also think, we were so good friends like last month, what happened this month? Without any proper conflicts, people can change the vibe, because the vibration has this shifted and you have accepted that fact, and the reality follows after that. Sorry, I kind of went a little places with that.
No, but it's quite exactly in the theme of what we're talking about it, and it's all good reminders. We each struggle every day with, well, hopefully you're struggling to make yourselves happier and be in a better place. And but as we are sifting through life to try and understand, how do I arrive at a place where I'm happier, then all of these things that we're looking at and talking about become important things to be considering while on your path. And Meghma's absolutely right. You do have people that step into your life for a short bit of time, and step out, and what you've exchanged is perfect. And I also
Yeah.
have completely witnessed that when I step into alignment on my path, a relationship that wasn't suitable for me, the person just walked out, like without
Yeah.
saying a word. And it was perfect because it really was done. But it's just, you don't expect this kind of life to follow your commitment, sort of, it's mind-blowing.
Yep. It's
So
literally
anyway,
like stepping into a parallel or an alternate reality where
yeah, 100%. That is
yeah.
exactly what it seems like on every level. And you just kind of step back and you're like, interesting, how did I get here? But usually it's feeling really good and really exciting, especially nowadays with the energies that are present. Because for the first time in my life, the energy that is present around each corner at each new juncture is so exciting. I am elevated and vibrating like all the time and feeling silly and giddy and excited. I think there's really good things coming. So keep doing the work. The work is worth doing because wow, 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 wow.
Well, thank you for joining us, and let us know if of what you think about stepping into alignment, how you experience it, or if you have been facing any challenges that we can help with. Thank you.
Yep,
See you again.
we'd love to hear from you. Bye. Thanks so much.